You finish dinner, clear the table, and settle into the couch. It feels like the right reward after a long day. But 30 minutes later, something shifts. Your energy drops. Your eyes get heavy. Maybe a little brain fog creeps in. You wonder if it's just age. Here is what is actually happening inside your body during that window after eating. Blood sugar is rising, and for many adults over 50, it rises higher and stays elevated longer than it once did. This pattern is extremely common. It does not mean something is broken, but it does mean your body is asking for something you may not have known it needed. Margaret is 62 years old. She lives outside Tampa, Florida, and was diagnosed with pre-diabetes 2 years ago. She takes metformin and tries to eat reasonably well. Most evenings after dinner, she does what most people do. She sits down. Margaret noticed that her morning glucose readings felt unpredictable. Some days the number looked fine. Other days it was 15 or 20 points higher, and she could not connect it to anything obvious. She did not realize that what happened in the hours after dinner had anything to do with what she saw the next morning. Many adults quietly notice this same pattern, but rarely talk about it. If you are over 50 and your blood sugar feels harder to manage than it once did, you are not imagining it, and you are not failing. After 50, several things begin shifting at the same time. Muscle mass naturally decreases. Hormones that regulate metabolism change their rhythm. The body becomes slightly less efficient at processing glucose after meals. These are normal biological changes. They are not caused by poor decisions. They are part of how the human body ages. Many adults bring these concerns to their doctor and hear that their numbers are not quite in the diabetes range yet. That can feel reassuring, but it can also feel confusing. You know something is off. The fatigue after meals is real. The afternoon energy crashes are real. The stubborn weight that seems to sit around the midsection is real. Doctors measure fasting glucose and A1C to track blood sugar over time. But those numbers capture only part of the picture. What happens to blood sugar in the 2 hours after a meal is just as important. And for many adults over 50, that post-meal rise is where the pattern begins. This is not about blame. This is about understanding what your body is doing and giving it gentle, consistent support. To understand why a short walk after dinner can make such a meaningful difference, it helps to understand what glucose is actually doing after you eat. When you finish a meal, carbohydrates from your food break down into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin. Think of insulin as a key, and think of your cells as doors. Insulin travels to the cells, unlocks the doors, and allows glucose to move inside where it can be used as fuel. In a younger, metabolically healthy body, this process works quickly and efficiently. Blood sugar rises after eating, then comes back down within about 2 hours. But here is the part many people don't realize. After 50, the cells can become less responsive to insulin. The key still exists. The door still exists. But the lock has become stiff. Insulin has to work harder to open the door. Doctors call this insulin resistance. It simply means the cells are not responding as easily as they once did. When glucose cannot enter the cells efficiently, it stays in the bloodstream longer. Blood sugar remains elevated. The pancreas keeps sending more insulin trying to clear it. Over time, this cycle places ongoing stress on the system. Now here is where muscle becomes important. Skeletal muscle is one of the largest consumers of glucose in the body. Think of your muscles as a storage tank. When muscle contracts during movement, it can absorb glucose from the bloodstream almost independently of insulin. This is a separate pathway. Movement itself opens a different door. When you walk after dinner, your leg muscles, your core, your arms are all actively contracting. They begin pulling glucose directly out of the bloodstream. The post-meal rise that would otherwise stay elevated for 2 or 3 hours begins to come down more naturally. Research consistently shows that even a 10 to 15-minute walk after eating can reduce the post-meal glucose spike meaningfully. Not dramatically, but consistently. And in metabolic health, consistency is what creates change over time. There is also a secondary benefit. Walking after dinner supports insulin sensitivity over time. The more regularly muscles are used in that post-meal window, the more responsive cells tend to become. The lock loosens gradually. The key begins to work more smoothly again. This is not a cure. It is a biological tool your body already has. Walking simply activates it. The most effective habits for blood sugar stability are not dramatic. They are simple, repeatable, and gentle on the body. The first is the after-dinner walk. It does not need to be long. 10 to 20 minutes at a comfortable pace is enough to engage your muscles during the window when blood sugar is highest. Consistency matters more than distance. A short walk every evening produces far more benefit than an occasional long one. The second is protein-first eating. When you begin a meal with protein before moving to starches or bread, you slow the rate at which glucose enters the bloodstream. Eggs, fish, chicken, legumes, or Greek yogurt at the start of a meal give the digestive process a steadier pace. Blood sugar rises more gradually. The post-meal spike becomes smaller. The third is meal timing. Late-night eating tends to produce glucose elevations that the body struggles to clear before sleep. When you eat a large meal close to bedtime and then remain still for 7 or 8 hours, blood sugar can stay elevated for much of the night. This can affect sleep quality. It can also contribute to the higher morning readings that many adults like Margaret find confusing. Eating your last substantial meal at least 2 to 3 hours before sleep allows your body time to process glucose while you are still upright and slightly active. It does not require perfection. It simply requires a general pattern. Certain nutrients also play a supporting role in how the body handles glucose. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic processes, including those that regulate insulin signaling. Many adults over 50 are mildly deficient in magnesium without realizing it. Foods like leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, and almonds are good natural sources. Berberine is a compound found in several plants that has been studied for its effect on glucose metabolism. Research suggests it may support the pathways that help cells absorb glucose more efficiently. It is worth discussing with your doctor, particularly if you are already managing blood sugar with medication. Chromium is a trace mineral that supports insulin's ability to function. It is found in whole grains, broccoli, and green beans. Other nutrients like gymnema and eleuthero can further aid glucose uptake and adaptation. I created a simple, printable protocol that many viewers find helpful when tracking blood sugar patterns. It organizes the habits we discussed today into a clear daily reference. Page 2 includes a tracking matrix where you can log your morning readings alongside your evening walk and meal timing. Over several weeks, patterns often begin to appear that are genuinely useful to bring to your next doctor's visit. You can find the link in the description below. This video is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Always speak with your healthcare professional before making changes to your health routine. Margaret eventually realized her morning readings were not random. They reflected patterns she had never been shown before. The evenings she sat still after dinner often produced higher readings the next morning. The evenings she took even a short walk tended to look different. She did not overhaul her life. She added a 10-minute walk after dinner. She began eating a little protein at the start of her meals. She moved her last meal slightly earlier. Slowly, the pattern became clearer. Understanding what your body is doing is not frightening. It is actually a relief. When you can see the pattern, you can respond to it. You are not guessing anymore. Your body over 50 is not broken. It is different, and it responds beautifully to small, consistent support. Small changes repeated consistently can make a meaningful difference, and you do not have to make them all at once.